Yes. Yes, baby. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I watched it last night. It was great. Is anybody here? Guys, I'm just getting my cup of coffee. I'll be right there, okay? This is actually battery operated. Anybody here? 2 minutes. Hey, hi, 4 people. Okay, I'll be right here. I'll be right back. I really just need the coffee because I just did 2 other videos that I put it on TikTok. Eventually, I'll put them on YouTube as well. But I can't do it like that anymore. So I said, let me finish the reading and do it as a live on YouTube. And then it's there. It's done. Okay. Be right back. No note or anything, just... That's so little, that can. It's a joke. I don't see Olivia. Well, you can ask Patricia. It's expensive to send that. Exactly. Yeah. Oh my gosh. What happened? I don't want it to be a green screen. I don't want it to be a green screen. Done. How do I get it back to not be a green screen? Green screen is weird. Hi, Bayo! Bayo, I thought you would be working. Hi, Azriel. Hi, Mateus. I just want to get out of the green screen. I don't know how to get out of it. Does anybody know? How do you get out of it? Oh. Good. Maybe I'll just put these up. These kids up. Talking about these kids, well, maybe this one instead. Yeah. Get out of the way. I gotta get out of... Can you see them? I'm not good with my technology. You see them? This is who we're talking about. This beautiful Lily Sullivan, age 6, and Jack Sullivan, age 4. That's who we're talking about. Okay, aren't they beautiful? But yeah, I don't know how to get out of it. Is that cute? Okay. They went missing in Nova Scotia. No, that's not a good picture. Let me just put my picture back there. Okay. That's Turquoise Angel. That's Turquoise Angel. Okay. I just finished her today. Anyhow, guys, I'm going to finish my reading. I'm sorry, I don't know how to get the green screen off, but in a few minutes I could always put on the picture of Lily and Jack again, you know. And I'm wearing my Whitney shirt for good luck. What I said on the other videos that are on TikTok, and I will bring them over when I get a chance after I'm finished with this, is that I did the dowsing rods. I did 3 decks of cards, at least 3 decks of cards, and then I did some automatic writing. So I did a lot of things to get myself ready for this reading. I did my prayers already. I actually started this yesterday, but I got 2 headaches, one on the top of my crown and then one behind my eyes, and I was taking Excedrin. Wasn't working. Did not work. And now my phone wants to just like be annoying. I'll probably just have to put it like that, and I'll just be like ahead. Anyhow. Ugh. Alright, Jack and Lily want their picture up there again. But I just don't know how to make it so that it's up higher. Hi, Lisa Soren. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Bayo, and everybody else. Welcome in, welcome in. I'm talking about these 2 youngsters, Jack Sullivan, age 4, Lily Sullivan, age 6. So this, in a way, this is, sorry that I have to do this, because it helps with my headaches and also my skin. And this is your 3rd eye right here. So I'm massaging it so that I can get lots and lots of information. And then you just do your cheekbones as well. And it's rose quartz, so it wakes you up as well. Hi, Dawn. Yes, I wish I could save the babies too. And I just like I said in my first video on TikTok, I've done a video, a couple of videos, I think a while ago, like a couple of weeks ago, for Lily and Jack and Lily. But now new information has come out by a cousin named Darren. It's probably a fake name. And what he's basically saying is that, look how cute they are. So beautiful. Okay. So basically what this cousin has said, he's a cousin of Malaya. Okay, I don't think you can see my book, but I have everything written out. So there's Jack, Lily, and the baby is Meadow, right? So that's 3 kids. But Meadow is by Malaya and Daniel. But Jack and Lily Sullivan are by Cody Sullivan and Malaya Brooks. Okay. But the father was not involved with them in the past couple of years. So Darren comes along and he says, I'm the 2nd cousin of Malaya Brooks, and I know where the kids are, and the kids are alive. That's what he said, right? Can I be wrong? This is all for entertainment reasons only, but what if I'm right? Okay? But I can be wrong. I can be wrong as well. The whole reason for being here is to find the kids. Okay. So when I did the dowsing rods, I stood up to do them. I don't like to do them online because I tremble and it's so stressful. So I did it standing up and I double checked and I asked and asked, double checked and rechecked, so that sometimes I have to ask a question 3 to 5 times. If I don't feel it, I have to feel it very strongly as an answer. That's not ready yet. When you have a Palo Santo, you hold it down like that at a 45-degree angle and don't blow it out right away. Give it like 45 seconds. And then you get a better burn. See that burn? Unfortunately, this bothers my husband. So I have a door that's closed halfway. Let me close it fully. I have such trouble with my camera. I'm sorry. It keeps going down. It keeps falling down. I don't know how to get the green screen off. Anything. Okay. So, Darren's saying that Malaya wanted to get away from Daniel. Okay, it might be true, might not be true. But that she's been having maybe some postpartum. I don't know how long postpartum lasts. Let me find out. Echo, how long does postpartum blues last?
Postpartum blues lasts 2 weeks.
That's it? Okay, her baby is 17. Echo, can postpartum last longer than 2 weeks?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Echo, can postpartum depression last months?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Echo, I'm disappointed in you.
If you'd like to tell me how I can improve, try saying, I have feedback.
Okay, sorry. I was having a fight with Echo. Okay. So, hi, welcome in, Veronica. Welcome in. Hey, I made you funny. Scroll up the down. Oh, you said something funny? Let me see. Let me see if I could find it. Oh, that's what he said. Okay. Thanks, Bayo. Mateus 10. Thank you for coming. Azrael. Okay, so everybody on this page, you have to be 18 and above. This is not a child page. So if you are a child, which is anybody who is under 17, 18, this is only for 18 and above and really 21 and above. So if you are a child, please click off. This isn't for you. This is an adult channel. I might seem colorful and I'm a painter, but this is an adult channel and especially this subject. Okay, so you have to be of age. All right, the reason why I'm burning this a lot, I already burned a couple of pieces, is because the energy was really strong when I was doing the dowsing rods. I asked many questions. So I even asked about summer moon. I asked about my sister. When you're first doing the dowsing rods, you have to establish what the yes and the no is. So I said, is my name Katrina? And it went cross in front of me. I said, is my name Sue? And it opened up wide. I said, am I 58 years old? And it opened up wide. I said, am I 61 years old? And it crossed in front of me. That means the yes is crossing front. Open up wide to give me a hug is a no. Yes is an X. Okay, so I established that. And I'm glad I did it off the air because it just made me ask more and more questions. And I stood up. I was standing. First, I say my prayers and I invite my spirit guides in. I invite Gannon and Shanae and Shanann, Tylee and JJ, even baby Evelyn, who was a baby that I looked for years ago. For some reason, she's been helping me a lot on this cage, as is Summer and Michael, Joseph Vaughn. Okay, anyhow, when I asked, and in my first video that is on, I don't have to rush because I'm thinking that this is a 10-minute thing like my other thing, like I did on TikTok, but it's not. So I don't have to rush, but there's a lot of energy surging in. And I just want to get it right. Where are Lily and Jack Sullivan? So basically, I don't understand how I could sit like this and still talk to you. Okay. All right. What I'll do is from time to time, I'll show you that picture. And get my big chubbiness out. When I asked if Lily, I asked separately. I said, is Lily Sullivan still on this earth, alive on this earth? Okay. Opened up wide. Okay. Then I said, is Lily Sullivan in heaven? You know, in the spirit world. And it crossed in front of me, yes. Then I asked it 3 more times. I ask it 3 more times, right? Then I go to Jack. And the same thing. Jack was very fast in the answers. So I'm thinking, did something happen to Jack first? So my other video, if you want to see it, I was going to take it down after this guy came about. This guy named Darren that says he's Malaya's second cousin, and he definitely knows information that the kids were picked up by Malaya and taken to a reservation so that nobody could take them. Like CPS can't touch them, Daniel can't touch them, nobody could touch them at the reservation. So apparently she's Native American, I think, or part Native American, or whatever reservation that was. But I didn't feel hot on what he was saying. I was watching him, and so I asked the dowsing rods, is Darren telling the truth as he knows it? And I got a mixture of things, and that basically what I didn't get a full feel on it. I didn't get a good feel on exactly what his deal was. But if you notice, when the money came out, when the reward came out, I think it's 150,000, then all of a sudden he got busy. Then he came out. But people have said, well, if you have information where the kids are and you know you're 85% in the know who picked them up and took them to the reservation, which reservation, who are the people, and why didn't you tell the police, the RCMP? Well, Darren has been doing the old YouTube channels, and he said he did tell our RCMP that they're not really listening to him. But the RCMP has to. But the RCMP did not mention it on, because I'm watching it every day, keeping up with it every day, any kind of news. And there hasn't been anything new. The RCMP is not going to tell us just anything. You know, we're the public. They're not even going to tell the family that. They're still investigating. Anyhow, when Darren, and that's probably not his name, some people call him Durwood, his last name is Deedes. Or is it? You know, anyhow, when he's an older man with a white beard and I think glasses, and he showed himself, but he seems to be very sure that the kids are fine, the kids are alive, the kids are just, on a reservation. So, okay, then I start to think, and I second guess myself, and I say, the kids are alive, but in my video, I didn't feel they were alive. I'm not talking about this video, I'm talking about the video that I did prior. And I got them in the spirit world. And I have a couple of things that I see when I get, when I ask questions to the children in heaven. One of the things I see is I saw dirt with them. That's why I didn't think it was water. And I double checked it with my dowsing rods. So I didn't get the water, because at first everybody was saying water and maybe the water and the water. I didn't get water. So I saw dirt, and then I always see this little foot. I think it's Jack's, but it could be Lily's, but it has no socks on it. It's just a little foot coming up out of the dirt, and that's very scary. But that's one of my symbols that angels show me when they're trying to show me location of where a missing child is or where a missing person is. Okay, so that's why I feel the dirt, but not that woods that they checked. I don't think they're in the woods that they checked. Okay, and then I also saw 2 white coffins, which is horrible, terrible. I hope I'm wrong. And that's why when Derwin or Darren came out, the cousin, second cousin, came out and said the kids are alive and the kids are fine and they're just over there and whatnot. And then Malaya took her baby from her mother's house and fled because she got scared. Well, who knows what she's thinking? We don't know. It was only one interview. And she ran somewhere, but then CPS swooped in and got the baby. So now CPS has the baby, I believe. I don't know. Where is Malaya? Malaya Brooks, where is she at? So I'm thinking, oh, maybe I should just go to YouTube and take off my video where I said the kids have passed. And then I thought to myself, and I asked my spirit guides, and this, I go through this in my head, and I go through this in my heart. Should I take it down? Should I take that video down? Or was I right? And should I leave it up? So that's why I was meditating yesterday. That's why I really didn't do anything except sit at this table and meditate for hours and do 3 decks of cards and write my automatic writing of my notes. And just everything was eat, sleep, and drink and visualize these 2 kids. And then I said, you know what? I'm not going to take that video down. I'm going to leave it because usually my first instinct is on target. So when I did the dowsing rods and I asked the questions about Darren, the second cousin, and are the kids alive, I'm not getting the kids alive. I am not. Why hasn't anybody else seen them? Why isn't these other people that supposedly, maybe they did take them in the car? Maybe 2 other people do know where the kids were dropped off. But then there was a whole other story that I felt. And I asked the dowsing rods again. And I asked, does Darren think he knows the truth? And I got a yes on that. Can Darren be wrong? And there was a yes on that one too. So, leaving my videos up until further notice, I do feel like the kids have passed. I hope I'm wrong. I feel like something went wrong in that house. That's where everything is surrounded around. And that's why, another reason why she wanted to leave. She wanted to leave beforehand. she's not right in her mindset. I'm talking about the mother, Malaya. She's not happy. She wasn't happy with the first guy, the father of Jack and Lily. And she's definitely not happy. I was trying to tap into um, Daniel's energy so much. And I wasn't. All right, here's my hot energy. When I say hot energy, I get hot on something, that means I feel like it's true. When I feel cold about it, I feel like, no, I'm reaching. I'm reaching for something. So, okay, 7 in the house, 7 thumbs up. Wait, 7 in the house, 10 thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Obviously, I'm not here for the views. Okay. I'm just here for the kids and the missing. I felt like he was really honestly, at first I went back and forth like a ping pong ball. At first I was like, oh my gosh, he's lying so much. He's got a scratch under his eye. That's probably from, having a fight with one of the kids. Or could be a cat, or it could be the baby just scratched him by accident. Babies will scratch you. But it was pretty deep. It was right here. Now it's healing. It's probably healed by now. But I just felt like he was trying his best to please her. He definitely loves her. What I did was I took a picture of them. I blew it up. I took a picture of them when they were happy. I took another picture of them when they were not so happy. Okay. I would say about a year and a half in, they were still happy. And then they were supposed to do something different. She wasn't happy with that living conditions. She wasn't happy living over there. But he needed to live there for his job. I think he has a job. Some people say it's only a one-day job, but other people say it's more than that. And I would check where his job is, check for the kids over there. This is what I feel. I feel like he tried to cover something up. It wasn't his fault. Maybe it wasn't even Malaya's fault. Like some sort of accident involving something that looked like candy. With one of them. I did ask questions, were they given medicine? And I didn't get an answer on that. I didn't get a clear yes. I did not get a clear yes. But I said, did the kids maybe get into something, or kid, because they kept steering me to one. Did one kid accidentally eat something that was adult? And you know what I'm talking about. And I just saw gummies. I saw gummies. But the gummies, I don't have them, unfortunately. I just have the candy ones. But I've heard about some people have gummies that have, drugs in them. So I don't know if this is 100% true, but it was like getting into something and somebody lost their temper. And I was like, lost their temper? Was it a kid? And they said no, that the kid was screaming. One kid is screaming, then another kid is crying. But this is after one kid ate something they shouldn't have eaten because they were hungry. They needed more food. Okay, that's a fact. I feel like Daniel loves Malaya so much that he was trying to help her cover something up. That's allegedly. I could be wrong. By him looking every day and working hard every day, at first I was very just suspicious of him. But I also felt like he knows the kids are not there. He knows the kids are not in those woods. Maybe they're in another set of woods. But he knows the kids are not in those woods. And she did too, and that's why she left. Why would you leave? And she never looked, not once. And I'm sorry, when you have a baby that's 17 months, there are mothers there, there's grandmothers on the, you know, there's lots of people that could have taken that baby and watched the baby while you go look for your kids. Okay? So, I'm seeing, just like I did on my first video, pretty sure I said this too, like Lily screaming, screeching, and Jack crying, and then, what did you do? And shut up and be quiet. And somebody loses their cool. And maybe more than one person loses their cool. And then I see Malaya and Daniel will point the fingers at each other like this. You did it, 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 you did it. Now that they're apart, now that she left him, and it seems like she's trying to say that she was so unhappy. Maybe she's going to say he was controlling, maybe abusive. I don't know. But you could leave with your own 2 kids. It's just that she wanted to leave with 3 kids. One of them is Meadow, is Daniel's. So she probably knows, he probably said to her, you know, if you want to leave, leave, but you're not going to leave with my baby daughter. Okay, so I see a man, when I look into his energy, I did feel love, like almost cherishing her, like, wow, I hit the jackpot with her, right? But her not being happy with herself and not being happy in general. And having, I think she's only 27, I'm not 100% sure, but having 3 kids, 2 different baby daddies, and 3 kids in such a short amount of time. By 27, you have 3 kids. One girl is 6, so that means she had a first kid at what, 21? Yeah, I did do the math ahead of time because I'm not good at math. If she is indeed 27, I'm not sure. If you know, put it in the comments. Okay, so I promise you I will get to it. Can I show you this? Okay, so they didn't cross the road by foot. They crossed the road by car. Was a car called up and they were put into a car that Daniel didn't know about? I think so. I also get like a Red Deer, or a street name Red Deer, or area Red Deer, something with a Red Deer. Grandmere should be checked out. Grandmere, it sounds like almost like grandma, but it's Grandmere. And then Crow's Nest. I felt a little bit hot on those 3 positions. Sorry. Okay. I'm better if I could just look at you. CPS has a report. The report is written up. We won't see it. We won't know about it until everything is all said and done. And that might be a long time. So we won't know exactly, you know, there's certain things that you'll never find out about because that's the privacy. The blanket, part of the blanket was found, and a boot print. I feel like that was fake. Sorry. Yeah, take a sip. I feel like it was planned. They cut a piece of the blanket, threw it in there. They took the boot and made a boot print. Somebody. Okay? So when I say somebody, Danielle, either Daniel and Malaya together, or just Malaya by herself. I don't feel like it was Daniel. thinking of that. Don't. But does he have more to say? Yes. More is going to come out once he finds out. Like he already said, I'll see her, I'll visit her in prison. I will visit you in prison. That's all I have to say for you. I'll visit you in prison. It's a pretty tough statement. Okay? Meaning that you did it, I didn't do it. I looked for the kids. They were your kids, but I treated them like they were mine. We weren't married, but I treated them like I was the stepfather. And a lot of people did attest to him doing everything, and her just paying attention to the baby. Okay? And you know what? That's not fair to the kids. But sometimes people, like I said, I was trying to figure out with Echo over here, but she didn't answer me. How long could postpartum depression last? I know.
Here's something I found on steadyhealth.com. Postpartum depression can last from a few weeks up to a year.
Few weeks up to a year. Okay, well, the baby's 17 months. So she's over a year. She's 5 months over a year. Okay? But it could just be regular depression. It could be, I don't like my relationship. It could be, I hate my house. It could be, I hate the location I'm living in. Or this is how she is. Every couple of months or every couple of years, she doesn't like who she's with because she really doesn't like herself. So she wants to change her surroundings, change her relationship, or change her man. Did she have another relationship? Did Daniel have another relationship on the thing? My instinct tells me no for Daniel, maybe for her. But just talking. Just talking. Because she's not going to jump from the frying pan into the fire. She doesn't have a job. I don't know if she ever worked. I'm not sure. I don't know I don't see a background on her. I know she had a YouTube channel when she was in high school, and she kept saying she didn't want to go back to school. She didn't want to go back to school. What's the one thing you have to do when you are a teenager? You have to go to school. And sometimes you have a job. And mostly you get in trouble if you don't clean your room, right? Take the garbage out. So she was complaining about school, and that's pretty normal, for teenagers. Anyhow, I'm just speculating, and I'm saying maybe she was talking to somebody, but not wholeheartedly in another relationship, just saying, I'm so unhappy, I feel controlled, I feel depressed, I got to get out of here, I got to sneak out of here instead of go out the normal way. But then something with the kids. Okay. All right. So RCMP, which is their police, is no abduction. They're saying there's no abduction. Nobody like from the street, from the woods came and grabbed the kids. They're saying there's no proof of that. Planned, yes. They're saying they think something was planned. The RCMP knows more than they will tell us, and they're watching the players. They're watching the players play. But I don't get the kids crossing any street. I don't even get the kids wanting to play outside. I get the kids wanting to eat, wanting to have attention. And I feel like the kids were up at 8 o'clock playing and trying to get food. Okay, this is something I used to do with my kids because I was studying for my master's degree, and I only had a certain amount of time to get it. My son was 3, and my daughter was 8, right? Yeah, because I didn't go back to school until he was 3, because it was just too hard. So I would make a pot of coffee after they were in bed. I'd make a pot of coffee from 11 o'clock to 5 in the morning. That's when I would study. That's when I would write my papers. So I was tired by 5, go to bed at 5, and the kids want to get up at, 7, 8 and eat. So what I did was I put all the cereal down on the bottom shelf, And I said, you just pour it into the bowl. Don't use milk for the first bowl. And then when I get, so then you have dry cereal. That's for breakfast beef. And then when I get up, I'll make pancakes or toast or, French toast, or eggs. And I'll pour the milk in the cereal if you want more cereal. Okay, so it was my thing. Was it the greatest thing? No, I didn't have a maid or anybody to help me because my husband at the time was at work, his own job. I needed to get a couple of more hours of sleep because I was just going to bed at 5. So that's the way I did it. Maybe they had something where they were going up to try to get the cereal, and the cereal was up high. I made it down low so they can get it, and without, falling or getting hurt. And, that could be a situation. That could be, did somebody wake up the baby? Anyhow, okay, so let me just go over the cards, and because this is going too long. All right, so the blanket I feel was planted, the blueprint planted, and they didn't think of the end game. They did not think of the end game. Okay. When I did these cards, these are called location tarot cards. I bought them for that specific reason. I got, the first card I got was abundance, which was three hands, 3 people holding hands, like cheering. So there was 3 people involved. 3 people know really what happened. The second one was futility. And just like Echo, what does futility mean?
Futility is usually defined as the quality of being futile, ineffectiveness, uselessness. For more, ask me to give you more definitions for futility.
Yeah, uselessness, not being effective. Okay, what does that have to do with the situation? Well, I was saying what happened to Lillian and Jack. What was the situation and where could we find them? So futility would be, according to me, and I could be wrong, but that card coming up means to me that they knew those kids were not in the woods. They're not in those woods right there. They were trying to make the cops and the police, the RCMP, think that the kids went from the house into the woods, right? They opened the door themselves, got their backpacks on, put their boots on themselves, and went right out to the woods. First they played in the yard, then they figured, oh, maybe we could go in the woods and find food. Okay. So the futility in that was that hundreds of cops, policemen, and people searched the woods for 4 days or 5 days. Then they stopped it because they must have known something. The RCMP must have found out something. So then they came back, they searched again in a different area, nothing. They came back, I think, a third time and searched one day. I think it was May 30th. Then I think they came back in June and did same thing, but in another area that they had already looked at. Okay, so there's futility. It's a waste of energy. Why? Because I believe the kids were taken somewhere else. Okay, so then if they were taken to a reservation, why don't they go check out the reservation? Oh, because there's laws against that? But yeah, so I don't know. Okay, the third card I got was power. The power, what does it mean coming up? That there's a certain amount of power that's people are trying to show each other in this case. And I would say definitely between Daniel and Malaya, they're trying to, like kind of one up each other. Like, no, you're the bad parent. No, you're the bad parent. No, you were the bad guy. No, you were the bad girl. Therefore showing, their power. So will we fully know? No, we won't fully know until somebody that's very close to the family that was living, I'm talking about Janie, who is Daniel's mother, lives right on the property there. So I would love to know what she has to say. Then the next card I got was Justice, and I was so happy that that came, Eight of Swords, because that means we will have justice on this in this case. Okay. Then number 5 was Nine of Coins, which was gain. Yeah. So somebody was trying to gain control and power. They were trying to bring their power back. Somebody else was trying to say, look at me, I'm doing all the right things. But people weren't feeling it. Something was missing, something was askew. Okay? But do I actually feel like he did something to hurt the kids? I don't think he did. Was he trying to originally help Malaya in a plan and then she switched it up? That's what I feel. And that's what my angels are telling me. Yeah, that was a big switch up. Okay. So Janie, and then I have failure. This is a failure card. Yeah, so the failure of a plan and the failure of a relationship. I get that twofold. And then there was a plan devised, and that was failed. And then there was like a second plan. Okay, that didn't work out for you, buddy. So why don't we put our heads together before we both end up in prison, type of thing. Okay. Then I got the matriarch card, which was the Queen of Cups, and I didn't feel like that matriarch being Malaya, the mother of the kids. I felt like the patriarch was like somebody who's holding the strings in a way, and the cards in her hand is the mother of Daniel, which lives on the property, who lives on the property across the way. So that she could see Malaya coming and going. She could see Daniel, her son. She could see her granddaughter, Meadow. She could see the Jack and Lily. And I think there's 2 other grandchildren, but I don't know how often they were there. Okay, so Janie, the grandmother, Daniel's mother, heard the kids and heard Malaya outside and saw her outside walking down the driveway or whatever it is, and she had a phone, but she didn't have the kids with her. So Janie allegedly said, "What did you do?" Why do you say that? Like, why do you assume she did something? Did she have a feeling? Because she's always with the kids? Janie, the grandmother, knew they didn't go to school. They didn't go to school that day, right? Because Lily had a cough. Okay. So she goes, what did you do, or what are you doing? And Malaya says, and then she said, where are the kids? And Malaya just kind of looked up, like kind of scared face, and she said, the kids are in the woods. Kids are in the woods. How is that normal? Okay. So that's important. I would definitely pay attention to that. Okay. So we have eyes on the children, but we cannot get to them yet. That was another thing that was said. So if they were taken to a reservation where the regular RCMP doesn't have, verification, in other words, they're not allowed to bother them or touch them there. Okay. But somebody said, we have eyes on the kids, but we can't get to them right now. Okay. CPS was already involved. Okay. Now let me just get to my other cards. I'm almost done. 50 minutes in. Okay. So when I shuffle, I always shuffle with maybe just one or two focused questions. And the focus question is, what happened to Lily Sullivan and her little brother Jack Sullivan? Okay, so the first crime cards, I have two different types of crime cards. Did I even pull in? Yeah, I did pull. I pulled from both. Okay, I got a friend knows something. Important. A friend knows something. Is that friend Darren, the cousin? I don't think so, because I'm feeling a young energy, the same age as Malaya, or even a little bit younger. A friend knows something about the kids. Important details are not being revealed to the public at this time. That's what I said. Important details are not being told to the public. So this would be the RCMP, the police are not, and CPS are not telling us everything. If you just came in, we're talking about Lily and Jack, missing children from Nova Scotia, Canada. So please give me a like, even if you're not staying, okay? This was a lot of work, and it started yesterday during the day, in the afternoon. So it's almost 48 hours of trying to connect. The killer sustained a wound during the murder. Killer sustained a wound during the murder. Okay, guys, even though it might take time, look at Barry Morphew. He was arrested in 2022, I believe, and then let out, and then rearrested just recently, like a week ago or so. So whatever's in darkness comes to light. Even if somebody's so bad and they get off parole, right? And they don't do enough jail time, and they get all kinds of people in trouble, and they kill their moms, okay? They will not get away with it, all right? Because the big guy sees everything, and all the angels surround us for protection, okay? From harm and from evil. Whatever is done in darkness comes to light. People show their true colors, and they repeat patterns unless they fix themselves, unless they went to extensive therapy and are on medication, the correct medication that they need. Otherwise, they're just going to keep repeating the same thing, and they slip up. And guess what? The police get them. And if the police don't get them, God gets them. Okay? So we don't have to worry. We don't have to worry. We just have to keep on praying for justice. So the killer sustained a wound during the murder. Doesn't matter if it's healed. Doesn't matter. Because we're going to get it. Jealousy, an affair, or a love-related crime. Jealousy, affair, or love-related crime. I don't think I ever saw this card before, but I was talking about this before I even looked at these cards. I picked these cards last night, or yesterday. Then I got the migraine. First it was just a headache, took medicine, still was hitting me up here, hitting me here. Then when it goes behind my eyes, it's good night, nurse. Okay, I have to leave the table, I have to leave the area, I can't be around any of the cards, because literally it's like my eyes hurt really badly. So this is the first time I'm looking at these cards. They've been laying out on the table since yesterday afternoon. Okay, surveillance cameras may provide important clues, and we know that's true because they did get the surveillance cameras from the neighbor's house. Okay. Last one. on these cards. Contamination of DNA evidence may be influencing the case. Just trying to show you the picture, but I can't be away from it. Contamination of DNA evidence may be influencing the case. I wasn't sure on this one. I did look at this yesterday, and I wasn't sure, and then I said, let me touch it and see. What does this mean, Spirit? Somebody was playing with it. Somebody was playing with the evidence. Somebody was like, I forget what you call it, but they were actually like taking something, somebody's DNA on it, and planting it. Oh my gosh. All right. So I don't know if you guys remember this or know about this, but Daniel, the stepfather, has said that 2 of his sweaters are missing. So he wanted everybody to know that 2 of his sweaters went missing. So people were like, oh, how would he know if his sweaters are missing? I would know if my sweaters, I have a lot of clothes, but I would know, if, especially if it was like my favorite ones that I'm always wearing, that's the most DNA comes on that, right? He doesn't look like he's a wealthy man, and that's not to put him down at all. She doesn't look wealthy at all either. She always has like the same, actually I only saw her in one video with the Hello Kitty shirt. Okay, anyhow, so if he's saying that 2 of his sweaters are missing, what are on your sweaters? What are on your shirts? What are on your pants? Your DNA. So was that planted somewhere? He can't find them. He's looking for them. So he let the police know that. So this card coming up is very interesting. Contamination of DNA evidence may be influencing this case. And I just heard, I'm being set up. I'm being set up, Katrina. Okay. It was a male voice, too. Okay. Okay. Now, the next set of cards. Let me just take a sip of my coffee. Anybody here in the chat? Thank you, Lisa Sorn. And I will get your packages ready. I have to go to the post office and get the boxes. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Veronica. Oh, thank you, Dawn. That's really nice. Hi, Judy Bullock. Nice to see you. I hope you're still in here. Postpartum can last for years, unfortunately. Okay, so I didn't know it could last for years. I thought I would always hear a couple of weeks, and then I did have it with my son. Thank God I did get help. I had somebody that came to the house, and then she would call me every week. But she came to the house maybe twice to see how I was doing. And I remember she said, do you feel like you'll hurt yourself or the baby? And I said, no, I don't feel like I would hurt them. I just feel like I would run out the door and just like run away. But then I don't want to leave my kids at the same time. It was a weird feeling, and I was just crying a lot, very emotional. Yeah, so I guess she can. I'm going to look that up offline, but thank you for telling me that. And I do know somebody else who had it, and it did affected her with her first child. She didn't do anything with the first child, but then when she had the second child, she didn't have it anymore. So she paid attention to the second child and the third child, but I felt bad for the first child because thank God his father jumped in, and his father was doing everything. I'm talking even diapers, waking up at night. She couldn't do any of it. So I know it's a real thing. No news on Monkey, just that they feel those 4 people would definitely killed him. The main three people, Brandon and Stacy and Sarah. What is my life even worth living? No one cares, please. Vivid. Of course your life is worth. I'm just seeing your comment now because when I'm kind of in a trance, I can't really read the chat, even though it's not like a busy chat. Your life is definitely worth living. And if you're going through a rough time, please seek help. You can get help from a counselor. You can get help from a therapist. You can get help from a friend. And yes, I felt postpartum depression for more than a year with both your girls. Oh, thank you for telling me. No, it's not a joke. I'm not joking around about anything with postpartum. I just didn't know how long it lasted. You're a new subscriber? Hi, Rez Girl. Are you over 18? Let me know if you're over 18. Okay. Gotta be over 18 to be in here. This is adult subjects. Okay. Now, these are my crime cards, if you could see. And the question was, what happened? What happened to Lily and Jack Sullivan? And where are they located? When I do that, I meditate to see if I can get a picture in my mind. Okay.
It takes dedication
sorry,
to live
one
your life's
second.
work rock solid for generations. At UBS, we match your ambition.
Okay. All right, so the first card I got with the crime cards is accomplice, a partner in crime. I don't know if you could see that. Yeah, so see these 2 people, they're holding hands like, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what I'm going to say. This is what you're going to say. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. Okay. But then I hear what was supposed to be did not work out. So it was plan A turned into plan B. Then plan B got messed up. And then it was like, nobody's telling the truth yet. There's still the truth about what happened. They wouldn't have looked so guilty if they would have told the truth about plan A. Why were you going to do plan A? Because of A, B, or C. You know what I'm saying? And then 2 people became 3 people. A third person was brought into it. I don't know when I got this card, but I've seen this in my head since I started this case. And it says burial. You see that? I'm sorry to hear that you're going through a lot in your life right now. This is a safe place, so you're welcome to watch all my videos and hopefully feel a little bit better. Have you tried meditating? Going for a walk? Calling a friend? Take your power back. So we have accomplice, partner in crime. 2 people goes to 3 people, at least. Could even be 4, okay? But it started with one person wanted to do something on their own. It got messed up, and then it went into 2 people. Let's do this together. That got messed up. Yeah, there's an ego problem. Can't believe you would do that to me. That's what I hear. It's like not even about the kids, it's about these adults. It's not about the kids. It's like, I can't believe you would do that to me, or say that to me, or hurt me like that. So now I'm going to do this to you. And that's why another person is pulled in. Then I got burial. But keep in mind what I said about the little foot coming out of the dirt. I know that's scary. We got child. So we know that this definitely involves a child, children. Then we got travel. So travel means that, and I did this with the dowsing rods as well. I said to Madame Zelda, I called Madame Zelda my dowsing rod, Madame Zelda. I said, are the children located in the woods right near the house, near the trailer house? And it was no, right away, open wide, no. Are the kids located in the woods somewhere? And it said yes. And I asked about the reservation. I didn't feel a hot answer, but I asked, they still locate, because some people think they've been taken out of the country because they have, Malaya had their birth certificates. And if you want to go to the reservation and be safe, you have to have your birth certificate. I think, I'm just learning too. I don't know, you know, I'm a U.S. citizen. We do things differently here. But maybe, you know, I don't know. So what I hear is they are still in Canada. They are still, the children are still in Canada. Whereas Dylan Eller, the other little boy that went missing in 2020, who is now 8 years old, I get him alive, and I did several videos about him. I called the cops on, you know, in Toro, Nova Scotia. I didn't get my phone call back yet. But anyhow, I tried contacting the father, Jason. No answer. You know, I always give my email. No answer. So anyhow, I said, is he alive? Is he in Canada? Yes, he's alive. Yes, Canada. No, Canada. He's not in Canada. I said, is he in New York? First I said, is he in Maine? No. Is he in New York? I thought he was in upstate New York. Is he in upstate New York? No. Is he in New York City? Yes. So if there's any kind of link to Dylan Eller, anybody in Nova Scotia around that time that has links, you know, that maybe knew somebody that had links to New York City. Okay, I mean, I'm from New York City myself, but I don't know anything about it. I'm just talking psychically. But yeah, please, you know, hopefully somebody will watch this and be watching about Lily and Jack, but also care about Dylan Eller, because I care about him very much. And usually, the reason why I'm excited is because I really feel he's alive. And he's 8 years old now. So I said, will he be found at 8? And I didn't get a clear answer. I said, will he be found when he's 9? And I didn't get a clear answer, but then I said 10, and then it was no. Then I went back to 9, and then it was yes. So it wasn't 100% clear, but I just really, I got that link of New York City and him, and that's what I got on his videos. So if you're interested, go back on Mystic Brady, look at Eller, look at Dylan Eller. I believe his name is Dylan Norman John Eller. Okay. So I believe that they traveled with Lily, and Jack. They took him away from the trailer, and that's why the mother left the place, because she knew they weren't going to be found there. And that's why, I mean, Daniel looked, but he was like, oh, I already looked. By the time the cops got there, he was already looking. Anyhow, shady. So I think you have to travel to get to where you can find the kids, but I did get the woods.